49ers have agreed on a contract restructure. This is according to his agency. They say it's 2 years, $50 million, with $37 million fully guaranteed and a $22 million signing bonus. So if anybody had any concern about Trent Williams leaving the 49ers over a contract dispute, he's locked in for this year, and I would imagine he'll play till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, that's right. He remains. I asked D. Wood about him the other day. Even at his age, he remains one of the absolute best players at his position. That was a good pick.
He was the fourth pick.
So that's what, but he didn't rush for that many yards.
Yeah.
All right, that was what Schefter was doing when he wasn't even acknowledging us on the goodbye. Meanwhile, over the week, read Adam Schefter's annual column in which he has all of his notes the week of the draft. The one that is getting the most traction right now, Schefter, it's basically exploding the internet, is the very latest on A.J. Brown and the Eagles. Go.
A trade is tracking to happen between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots post-June 1. Post-June 1, because that's when the Eagles can split up A.J. Brown's salary cap charge and not be crippled financially by making the trade now. That is why you will not get a trade of A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots or anywhere else during draft week, when a lot of other deals will be made. And the Philadelphia Eagles very well may have another trick or two up their sleeve this week in terms of a deal for a veteran player that's out there. Their general manager, Howie Roseman, always scouring, looking, searching for that next deal, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see him pull off another trade aside from the A.J. Brown trade this upcoming week. They have been talking to the Vikings about Jonathan Grenard in the past. It seems like those talks have lost some steam. We'll see if there's another player out there that captures the Eagles' attention and they're able to pull that off. But for the time being, I think the Eagles and Patriots both have to operate as if a trade for A.J. Brown is likely to get done post-June 1. The Patriots will get the receiver that they've wanted, and the Eagles obviously have been preparing for this, trading for wide receiver Dontavian Wicks and signing wide receivers Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore.
Okay, fascinating. Schefter, stay right where you are. We'll obviously need you for a lot of the conversation here. Worth taking both sides of this, the Philadelphia side of it. Dan, I mean, we have watched this develop, and it makes me feel when this trade happens, absent anything else, I'll be happy because it means that all the things that I thought I was seeing, I was not crazy, right? That what we were watching was an unhappy player for whatever reason. Exactly. Like A.J. Brown was just an unhappy, for whatever reason, whether it's the relationship with the quarterback or the way he was used in the offense or whatever it is. There's only one hard, fast rule, and that is if a player is reading a book on the sideline during a game, he's not enthralled with what's going on. So what does this mean when they trade A.J. Brown away from a Philadelphia standpoint?
That the relationship had run its course, and Philadelphia can still be a very good offense if they don't have A.J. Brown.
How? What will it change?
Because I just think they're going to change schematically how they play. I think looking at their offense, they're going to play with way less three wide receivers. They're going to draft a tight end early. They only have, I think, Dallas Goedert and Calcaterra under contract. Dallas is older. I go back to 2018 when they had Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, and they played them all the time together. Sean Mannion comes over from his time in L.A. as a player, his time in Minnesota as a player and a coach. Both organizations are notorious for playing with multiple tight ends. I think Philadelphia and Howie Roseman are going to sit there and say, we will move A.J. Brown. We're going to draft early in the first round or second round another tight end. We're going to play both those tight ends on the field with a player like a Devontae Smith. I think they're going to change the way they play offensive football in Philadelphia. And yes, it would all fall back on can the quarterback operate it at a high level.
And that's going to be the big thing is you're talking about them running a completely different system. We talk about it for Jalen Hurts. That's been the one thing that happens to him every single year. He's learning and having to run a completely different system.
This offense that he will run under Sean Mannion, he has never run anything like it. I mean, this is going to be the three things that he just doesn't do and/or doesn't do it well. Is play underneath center, play in the play-action game, and throw the ball over the middle of the field. So that's why the loss of A.J. Brown is going to be, I guess, felt more initially because of the style of football they want to play. And this is another sign that they're moving towards just getting out of the shotgun world, getting out of the RPO, and playing a little bit more of this style of offense that we're seeing kind of dominate in the league.
And that's going to be an entire offseason of learning that system, getting under center, throwing the ball over the middle, all the things that we've talked about. So that's another piece of it for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, the A.J. Brown piece of it, let all of that go. But now all the players there have to learn this new system. And you're saying can still be a really good offense. You got to go out there and do it now, execute it.
I think no one could argue that the Eagles didn't get what they hoped to get out of the A.J. Brown acquisition, right? They trade a first-round pick for him on draft night. They end up winning a Super Bowl with him. Obviously, that's what you hope happens. This is a GM in Howie Roseman who has now built 2 separate Super Bowl champion teams, 2 separate builds, right? And so if you're the Eagles, you're thinking ahead. You're thinking, yeah, we may have to take a lump or two putting in a new offense this year, changing offensive line coaches after so much time, et cetera. But you're thinking we need to be ahead of it rather than wait till it goes bad on us. And I think that's what they're saying. Plus, by the way, they're not going to just give A.J. Brown away for a 4th-round pick. I think when June 2nd rolls around and we see the return on this trade.
Well, Jalen Waddle went for
the 30th pick of the draft. Yeah.
And more, and another, like a third or something like that.
But you're talking about next year picks, obviously,
Correct.
since this is going to happen after the draft. But that's the draft everybody wants in anyway. So.
And then you take it from the New England side of it.
Yeah.
And what I think, if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm delirious. I'm so excited about this because that's a team that last year they had the kind of run that could delude you into thinking you're better than you are. They played 2 playoff games. One was Houston in bad weather, and the opposing quarterback just had the worst day of his life.
Yeah.
And then the second one, they played a team without their quarterback. And then they go to the Super Bowl and they get beat badly. They were a really good team. They have a young quarterback who's terrific, who's developing. The best thing you could do for him is get him A.J. Brown.
And I think the addition of A.J. Brown would give them a top 3 pass-catching group in the AFC. And I argue the best trio. You know, Cincinnati's going to sit at the top. You were making a point because of 1-2, T and Jamar are just so good. Yeah. But who outside of, New England now with New England, if you get A.J. Brown, you got Romeo Doubs, you got Kayshon Boutte, who took a huge step last year. That's a pretty good trio. And you still have Kyle Williams, and you still have Pop Douglas. So I think just from a pass-catching group perspective, it went from somewhat of a weakness maybe at this point a year ago to now one of the best in the conference.
And it's not just, sometimes you bring a player in from the outside, you wonder how he's going to fit.
Yeah.
But Mike Vrabel coached A.J. Brown in Tennessee. Like, this has been out there for so long. We know he seems like he wants to be there. So I don't think you have those concerns. Stephon Diggs played well for them last year. But at this point in Stephon Diggs' career, he is not what A.J. Brown is in terms of a number 1 wide receiver. And I think, obviously, you're seeing them level up there.
My only question, you hear Schefter say, like, this is happening. If I'm Josh McDaniels, how soon can I get this playbook to A.J. Brown? I want him to hit the ground running with this offense and get in there and say, hey.
Go out there, run a stop route, win.
Schefter, get back in here.
Listen, you can't go this far down the road. Both sides can't acknowledge their talks. You can't shop A.J. Brown during the season and then think that it's possible to bring him back to Philadelphia. I think both sides now, with this being draft week, have to operate as if this trade is going to happen post-June 1. It won't happen this week, but it sounds like the Patriots are absolutely committed to re-engaging right around June 1st, and it sounds like this trade is absolutely tracking to happen.
New England fans, you said it, delirious. You talked about last year looking at your team saying, all right, we're not where we're supposed to be or where we think we are. At the same time, if you're a New England Patriots fan, last year you were able to find out we actually have a quarterback that has the ability to go win. So now it's how fast can we get the guys around him while he's still on his rookie contract to be able to go win this thing right now in the AFC. You mentioned AFC North, a lot of new coaches. We talk about the Buffalo Bills. We talk about the Baltimore Ravens and the AFC. They're hitting a little bit of the reset button. For New England, you have a chance now to continue to stack up and go for it all right now. Bo Nix is going to be coming off an injury as we look about that AFC Championship game. Now Drake May showed you, hey, without a dog out there at receiver like an A.J. Brown, I can go and finish second in the MVP. Now you add a guy like A.J. Brown to that offense. What is Drake May going to look like in year 3?
And as a quick final thought just on A.J. Brown, he feels like he's been around forever because he's been such a big part of the... In June, he'll turn 29. Like, he's younger than you perceive him to be. Again, recommended, bordering on required reading. Adam Schefter's column, which is up on ESPN.com right now. He's probably breaking something as we speak, looking down there at the phone. Schefter, awesome this morning. Thank you. We will see you live from Pittsburgh all week long. Is there something else? Something else?
You can say anything you want. He's not going to hear you.
He's not even listening to me at this point.
This is how my wife responds when we talk about American Express.
Makes sense.